Hey guys, this is Chris from the Champion Studios team, and today with me is Ivan. Ivan is a fellow student from the university, and this video series is part of a course project that we recently started doing together. The main idea about this YouTube playlist is to have quick discussions and overviews about gaming, how it impacts our lives, and whether it's mainly a benefit or a hazard.
Like any other machine, they're either a benefit or a hazard. If they're a benefit, it's not my problem.
We're looking to cover more educational and business related topics, and eventually we'll invite some special guests later in the series to speak about their gaming experiences and what place games have on their everyday schedule. Due to the current lockdown situation, we'll be conducting the videos from afar, but hopefully this will not affect our interactions drastically. Today we'll be joined by none other than Danny and Drago, two of the other founding members of the Chamber Studios crew, and some of you may know them from the first episode of our Assassin's Creed Revolution films. Just a quick note that we're in the workings of episode 2.
Yes!
Before we delve into the more specific topics, we decided to begin this new playlist by sharing our own personal experiences with gaming, what it has taken and what it has given, and basically everything else that comes to mind during this video. We're gonna start with Ivan, who may not be one of the most hardcore gamers, but his interest lay upon working in this industry, and after all, every single person from our generation has some kind of a journey in the gaming world.
When we decided to make a video about personal experience, I decided to separate mine into two different categories. The first one I call pure entertainment, and the second one the alternative. So the idea behind the first is that I put there multiplayer games, online games, games to play with other people, with friends, with relatives, games I wouldn't actually play alone. I play them for those hilarious moments they give me, those moments you can recall back with your friends when you're chatting about that game, with all those times that you can build team morale, that you can strengthen your squad if you have one, to try to overcome a challenge together as a team, as a structure if you want. So these shooter games that I played all these years, I put them into this category. As for the alternative, I usually put games that I choose to play based on their stories. As a passionate reader, as a person who watches a lot of movies, TV series, I always like to see and watch and hear and read a new story, a great story. And games have become a new way, an alternative to storytelling, with all those cinematics, with the cutscenes, with the voice acting. Wonderful actors are begged for every single game to voice a character, to dub a character, and even some of them create motion capture for these games. And that's how I picked Prince of Persia games, Assassin's Creed, how I picked Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, Jedi Knight series, Arkham series, Batman Arkham series, The Witcher. All these gave me interesting characters with great character development, with wonderful voice acting, and with the ability to play with that character and, if I can, of course, walk my own path, choose my alternative way of doing things. So the alternative isn't only about alternative stories, it's about an alternative experience to real life, maybe. I picked sports games in this category. As a football fan, I like to play FIFA, I like to play Pro Evolution Soccer, I like to play Football Manager. You can beat these games if you wanted an alternative to be a player. For example, Become a Legend is a great mode. They can give you that story mode, and in FIFA also, to see the journey of a player if you can. It's not the same thing, but it's alternative. It's the best alternative you can get. And Football Manager can be a great alternative for you if you want to try out new tactics, if you want to try new formations, if you want to build your own squad, if you want to take a team from the lower levels and make them champions in the top tier and probably win the Champions League. So if you want all that, and you can only get it in these games. For me, yeah, games were pretty exciting. Games still are pretty exciting. And games are a way of escaping reality, maybe. Games might be an entertaining alternative to reality, but never merge them. Games are what they are. They're virtual, and reality is something totally different.
Gaming is relatively a large part of my usual lifestyle. Those people that know me can tell you how much I like spending my free time in front of the PC, playing various titles like, but not limited to, Assassin's Creed, CSGO, Star Wars, etc, etc. The first and foremost thing that games provide, and I believe that is true for every single person that is part of this magical world, is the enormous entertainment value. Especially when you find that one specific game or you have multiple favorite games, playing can give you that much needed escape to another world where you can do almost everything without having any real consequences. And while we should all beware of becoming screen zombies, most people can agree that this is actually a nice way of blowing off some steam when reality's pressure gets too much. Another great thing about the gaming industry is its creative initiative. The entertainment industry can be a powerful food for the imagination, as books, films, and nowadays games can allow you to discover great stories from another character's perspective, see the world through a different point of view, learn about topics and issues that you previously didn't even think of, and explore worlds set in times based on real or fictional events. Every new experience influences you in various ways. It enables a new type of thinking, and eventually it inspires you to start making your own creations. Last but not least, social interaction. We all know that many people claim that sitting all day at home playing video games or doing whatever on our personal devices detaches us from society. While that may be true to some extent, speaking about games specifically, there are quite a few titles that actually provide us a medium to socially interact with people from different parts of the globe. Starting from the simple chatting options and voice chat to building your own communities, games can actually be an awesome way to meet people from different cultures, from which you can actually learn a thing or two despite the usual swearing words. None of this means that we should neglect the dangers of overexposure to electronic devices, since we've all heard what possible effects can virtual worlds have on one's physical and mental health. But to me, games do have a positive impact on society, especially to those who classify themselves as antisocial. This is mostly true for titles where communication, teamwork, and coordination are crucial in succeeding with the game's objectives, with massive multiplayer online games, or MMOs for short, holding the first place in terms of relying on other people. Of course, there are always players who are way too toxic to want to have anything in common with, or others who simply don't want to interact with anyone because they're too lazy to chat and talk. But what I keep sacred the most are the moments when you meet those cool, genuine people who enjoy the game they play. They discuss tactics with you to overcome the challenges up front, and when that's finished, they always seem to have something interesting to chat about in regards to real life. They can also teach you new ways of viewing and playing the game, and generally they just want to sit back and have fun in the brave new world. I think I'm done. Done.
Did someone say done? Oh shit. Fuck. Hello everyone, I'm taking over. So, my name's Donnie. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. And a little bit more about myself. I like to cook. I love playing games. In fact, I loved it so much that at some point it started doing more harm than actually benefit me in a way. Nonetheless, this is something we all go through when we find something new and exciting, when you find a place where you can be whoever you desire to be, and find friends whom you can share adventures with and indulge yourself in a world which has been previously reserved only for your fantasies. And this is the main aspect I want to hammer on. It's adventures, and how oddly satisfying it is to become best friends with people you've never met before or even seen in person, but you've just met on the battleground or the arena. And yes, I'm referring to World of Warcraft, as this was my gateway drug to the world of gaming. The social dynamics you get to experience as a 10-year-old boy jumping into a world of adults are bizarre. We began this journey with a couple of friends, but I got so hooked up at some point that I started to bring out the bad sides of each and every one of us. You get to see the 7 deadly sins up close pretty fast. Okay, let me explain. Whether a unique item drops, someone is doing way better than the others, plays a better class, or whatever it is. When you're this young, you can easily be swayed by feelings of pride, greed, and envy. In a sense, it was all provoked by competitiveness. The good times and laughter turned into an endless race of who has better gear and who's stronger. Everyone went their own separate ways, and some even made new friends, gradually distancing themselves from us. The joy, lust for adventures, bonding, and even just goofing around seemed to have vanished. And that's fine, it's all good. In my opinion, this is a very important lesson that I have learned pretty painlessly compared to what would have been had this scenario played out in real life and I wasn't prepared. In fact, it made me think more about things like good communication with friends, proper values, how to deal with scuffles, and set your priorities straight. At least, it all ended pretty quickly, as soon as we all realized that it's absolutely meaningless and there is a better way to enjoy the game. To just indulge yourself in it as a proper group of friends and just help each other out. Oh, and as for the people you meet in-game and become tight friends with, well, let's say that I'm still lifelong friends with them.
Oh, hi everyone! I'm Drago, and I would like to touch on the educational side of games, as they can be a very effective way of teaching you important concepts. Computers, believe it or not, are built mostly on two states, zeros and ones, or true and false, or in reality low voltages and high voltages that represent these two states, with the use of transistors. Another useful concept is logic gates, which are surprisingly used to create logic in electrical circuits, and the same concept is also used in programming for conditional statements. Okay, so to demonstrate this, I'll show you how it works in Minecraft. Okay, so firstly, in Minecraft we have this thing called redstone, which is like a simplified electricity. This is a lever which will represent our true and false states. Currently it's off. If you click it, it's on, which is signified by the light coming on. So basically this is our basis of everything that we can build. Another thing that we will need is a NOT logic. Basically, when we have a false input, the output is going to be true, and when we have a true input, the output is going to be false. With these two things, we can basically build anything we want. This, for example, is our logic gate. Basically, when either of the inputs is true, the output is also true. And in the end we have a AND gate, which requires both of the inputs to be true in order for it to be true. So if one of them is true, it's false. If the other one is true, it's still false. So we need both of them to be true in order to be true. Okay, so you might be wondering, what's this useful in Minecraft, for example, but you can automate a lot of processes in Minecraft with this kind of electricity logic stuff, and to gather resources and other fun stuff. You can actually even build an actual computer in Minecraft, which is fun. Oh well. I could also talk about the time I was addicted to World of Warcraft, or when I started to play FTL and forgot to eat for a day. But my time is up, so I have to go. So, bye!
Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you have managed to relate to at least some of the stories you've heard today. Please be sure to check out the rest of our videos, which are not that many, so you have time to go through them all without much hassle. Subscribe if you wish to do so. Feel free to find us on Instagram as well, and see you again in the next video.